There's a lot coming to Warzone in Season 3 that should make casual, or as I prefer to name them, normal players very, very happy. The time to kill is being reduced, which means you're more likely to get some lucky kills. You're not going to get into those long engagements where accuracy really matters. Redeploy balloons are gone, so teams aren't going to be able to be as hyper aggressive, at least not without letting you know that they're coming, because you'll be able to see vehicles and things like that moving around. Gulag tokens and redeploy flares are gone, so just because someone's a really good player and they know how to play a game doesn't mean they're going to be able to keep on coming back at you. Portable buy stations are also gone, so teams aren't going to be able to hold a position indefinitely in the final zone, buying their teammates back over and over again and keep on buying kill streaks. There's tons of other little changes that will hopefully make the game a little bit easier to play. It means people who are normal, who aren't super hardcore players, will be able to get a few more kills, maybe a few more wins, and I think all of that's a really good thing. But there's one thing I haven't mentioned yet that I think is the biggest change coming to Warzone in Season 3. It's the thing that I am most excited about, and that's casual mode. So this is the description of casual mode on the Call of Duty blog. They said, loot, upgrade, survive, but with a new kind of opponent. Whether you're warming up, want a battle royale match that isn't quite as intense as facing off against 149 human opponents, or need to build up your confidence, Battle Royale Casual is likely the game mode for you. Expect the same rule set as Battle Royale and up to 27 other players dropping in with you, but the majority of your opponents will be computer-controlled bots, who may or may not be experiencing skill issues of varying severity. Like Call of Duty Warzone Bootcamp, game progression is limited in this mode, and results do not count towards or against your stats. This mode also doesn't count towards your eligibility to accessing Battle Royale ranked play when it arrives mid-season. So, casual mode is players against bots. As far as I know, they haven't announced whether it's going to be teams, whether it's going to be quads, whether it's going to be solos or anything like that. The picture that they put with this article does kind of imply that it's going to be quads, although actually in that picture there's like 5 people running together, so who knows. But anyway, the main thing is that it is 148 players, 28 human players and up to 120 bots. Now some of you might be thinking, oh Geeky, we already have that, we have Bootcamp. But Bootcamp isn't going away, and Bootcamp is a separate thing. Bootcamp's more like a mini royale, so the map starts off a lot smaller, you've already got a circle that's quite small, so you're focused on one bit of the map. There's way less players in Bootcamp, so in Bootcamp right now, in Season 3 when it starts, there's only going to be 12 humans as opposed to 28 in casual mode, and only 32 bots as opposed to 120 bots in the casual mode. There's also a few kind of rule differences in Bootcamp. You can't buy loadouts, for example. Things are just a little bit different there. There's also the kind of perception difference or the target audience difference. Right now, you can play Bootcamp if you want to fight against bots, but if you're someone who's been playing for a while, you'll know that it feels a little bit weird going into Bootcamp, because the human players you are up against might be new players. There's always a bunch of people who are like Prestige Master in there. I was in there to record footage for this video. There's always a bunch of players who are still really good in there, but you're always going to have the chance that you might be ruining the game of somebody who's brand new to the game and just trying to learn the ropes, and that feels a little bit harsh. Battle Royale Casual isn't being advertised as just for new players. This is something where it's just people who maybe want to chill a little bit, maybe people who just want to have some fun, maybe want to try out a different weapon combination. Everybody's welcome. Anyone can come play this and fight in a game that is mostly against bots. So why is it a good thing that you can play against bots? Why would anybody want to play a game of Warzone where nearly everybody you're fighting will be bots? Well, I think there's a few reasons actually, and this is something that I have been advocating for a super long time. The first reason just comes down to maths. For everybody that gets a kill in Battle Royale, somebody else is dying. Every time you drop and manage to kill someone straight away, somebody else has died. Someone else has been sent to the gulag as soon as they dropped into that game. And you know how frustrating it is if you've been queuing for a while, then you've been sitting in the lobby, then you go through the whole animation at the beginning, and then you just land and immediately get killed. That kind of sucks. Then imagine, sometimes you get killed at the beginning, you go into the gulag, and then you kill the person in the gulag. That means the person you were fighting in the gulag, they just had to leave the game. Like, that's just the end of it for them. That absolutely sucks. And when you see people going on crazy kill streaks and, absolutely dominating a lobby, all of those people they're beating are having a terrible time in that lobby. It's just a kind of fact of having a competitive game, especially one where there can only be one winner or one team of winners, and then 150 players in a lobby. Say if you're playing solos with 150 players in a lobby, that means 149 people are going to be disappointed. 149 people every game are going to lose. You're not even going to win 1% of your games if everything else was fair. But of course, things aren't fair. Sometimes there's cheaters, sometimes there's players who are just really good and can win game after game. And all of those things mean if you're a normal player in a normal Warzone lobby, you're very, very unlikely to win a game. Maybe you'll get some kills, but there's plenty of people who struggle to even get a handful of kills. And that's not a fun experience for them. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, it does seem like they've done a few things to make that experience better for players who aren't so good. The time to kill being fast means getting a lucky kill is going to happen a little bit more often. They've made it more difficult for the best players to be able to hunt you down. But there's still always going to be this problem that in a very competitive game where everyone's just kind of thrown together, and I know skill-based matchmaking's a thing, but it doesn't work very well if there's not enough players, particularly maybe in low population regions, or if you just play at times of the day where there's not loads of people on. Then everyone's going to get groups up together, and the best players are going to be able to have fun, and they're going to be able to dominate. And it's going to suck for everyone else. And I genuinely think this is the biggest problem that's been facing Warzone. Bigger even than the cheats. I think the worst problem is just that the skill gap has grown very, very large. And new players and normal players really suffer and struggle to have a good time. And only the really hardcore players can get anything done and can enjoy themselves. But the casual mode is going to completely redress that, because as a normal player, you're going to be able to beat these bots. It sounds like they're saying, when they said, they're going to experience skill issues of varying severity, it sounds like these bots aren't going to be all that great. And so you're going to be able to go in, you're going to be able to win a bunch of gunfights, and yes, you'll probably be able to tell when they were bots and when they aren't. Like right now in bootcamp, the bots are all level 1, and it says in some of the patch notes here that the bots aren't going to drop armor plates, for example. There's going to be some differences. But I don't think that's going to matter to a lot of people. Like a lot of the more casual players, a lot of the more normal players are just going to enjoy the fact that they can land, get in some gunfights and win some. They're going to be able to get some kills. They're going to be able to do some really cool stuff. And yeah, there might still be some really good players that go in there to try and get high kill streaks or anything, whatever it is they're going to do. But with only 28 players in each lobby, you're way more likely to win a game than you are if there's 150 players in a lobby. It's just sort of statistically much more likely that you're going to win a game. And I think when people are winning more games, they tend to have more fun. Now, the low player count also has some other bonuses, like because it only has to match up 28 people, you're more likely to get matched up against people of a similar skill to you. You're more likely to get matched up with people on your platform. You're more likely to get matched up with people who are geographically close to you, and you'll have a better connection to the game. Also, because there's only 27 other people in the game with you instead of 149, you're less likely to run into cheaters. You're less likely to run into top 250 players. You're less likely to run into streamers who are farming content, because I'm assuming it'll be fairly obvious to anyone watching whether you're playing normal Warzone or you're playing the casual mode. And so I imagine a lot of streamers who are like competitive and really trying to prove that they're the best won't be making content in this mode. So I think for a lot of people, this mode is going to be absolutely amazing. Like if you're playing the normal mode and then you're getting a bit fed up, you're getting beaten a lot, maybe the connections aren't so good, it's taking a long while to find a game, whatever it is, you can just hop in and play a couple of games of this, and chances are you'll do pretty well with it. It's the full map, it's the full experience, you're going to be able to do everything. No word yet on whether you'll be able to do Easter eggs in it. That'll be quite interesting if you can, because while Plunder's normally pretty good for it, Plunder's not always available. But anyway, you'll be able to drop into this. You'll be able to relax a little bit. Maybe you're not feeling like concentrating too much, but you just want to hop in and sort of have that Warzone experience. Maybe you're trying out some new weapon and you want to, try and snipe people from a long way away. Or you're just practicing a little bit. You're just practicing your aim or your movement and stuff, and you want some enemies that aren't going to immediately delete you. I can think of loads of reasons why I might want to sometimes play this mode. Who knows, maybe it'll even be my favourite mode. Maybe it'll be the main mode. And if people do want to go into this mode and get crazy kill streaks, go on a 50 kill streak, something like that, it doesn't really matter because the people dying for the most part are just going to be bots, and the bots don't mind losing. The bots don't mind that they don't win the games. They don't mind that they get killed right at the beginning of the match. It literally doesn't matter to them at all. So that's awesome. Now, I can see some potential problems with this mode. The biggest one, I think, the biggest issue it's going to face is the perception of it. If you get some of the bigger content creators or some of the bigger channels starting to be disparaging about it or starting to be insulting about people that play this mode and talking, as if they're not really playing Warzone, they're not playing the real game or something like that, I think then it could get a bit of a stigma attached to it, and that could put a lot of people off. And that would be a real shame, I think. There's absolutely no problem with someone hopping in this mode because they want to go kill a load of bots. I don't see people complaining when people want to go play the campaign or something like that to feel like an absolute hero. I don't see why this should be any different. There's literally no downside to people playing this whatsoever. So my hope is that the community really embraces this, that they're like, yeah, this is awesome. If you want to relax, if you want to chill, go play casual mode. If you want a bit more of a challenge, if you want to prove yourself, then you can play the normal mode, or then you can go and play into ranked. But we'll see how it goes. Let me know in the comments what you think about all this. Are you going to play the Battle Royale casual mode? What do you think about it being included in the game? If you're enjoying this video, I've got tons of awesome Call of Duty content coming up over the next few days. Tomorrow morning, Wednesday, April 2nd, we'll be doing the last ever games of Urzikstan. And then in the afternoon from 5 PM, I'll be doing the Shattered Vale, the new Zombies map. We'll be trying to do the main quest, the Easter egg, first in the world with Mr. Dalek, JD, Craig and Jakey. Then on Thursday morning, we'll be playing some more zombies, trying to find some side Easter eggs. On Thursday afternoon, we'll be hopping into Verdansk, trying to find all of the Easter eggs, seeing if the old ones work, seeing if there's any new ones. And then, of course, we'll be hopping into Battle Royale Casual as well, and just sort of seeing how it goes. So like I said, if you enjoy it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.